I want you to tell me, what is your first impression? What is your first impression?
It's very mechanical.
Very mechanical. Good. Good. And tell me more about this mechanical place.
There are a lot of dark metal tubes.
Dark metal tubes?
Yes.
Good. And are these large or small? What are they?
Very large.
Very large. And do you know what they're for?
They're connected to a display.
A display? A display of what?
I think it's a star.
Oh.
The texture's odd.
Display of a star. Okay. Excellent. And what else are you noticing?
The flames on the star, they don't look like vapor. Like they look almost like a jelly or something.
Flames on the star look kind of like jelly. Kind of like have a substance to them?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And what else are you noticing about?
There's something looking at the display.
Something is looking at the display?
And I'm trying to find the way to phrase it. It looks humanoid, but I'd say it's closer to like a glowing amoeba.
A glowing amoeba?
Yeah.
That's watching the flames?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why it's watching the flames?
I'm not sure if it understands what it's seeing either.
Oh. Okay.
It seems like it keeps looking at the flames like a loop. Like how they move.
Oh, how the flames move?
Yeah.
And like a loop?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Is this are these flames like large? Are they smaller? Are they close or far away?
They're large.
Large?
They move almost like a wave of slime over this, what I believe is a star. I guess I can't tell if the display is showing something zoomed in really close so that it looks big, or if it is of something big.
Oh. Okay. So what would be able to zoom in if it... Is there something there to do that with?
This whole room seems like it's some kind of machine.
Okay. So it's a room.
Yes.
Okay.
The display takes up a good portion of the room. But most of the room, other than the display, are all the tubes that connect to it.
Okay. So there's a room with display, but all these tubes. Do the tubes make the display?
I don't know if they're supposed to be cables. They seem very large. It's almost like instead of having a room and cable, it's like if the room was made of the cable.
The room is made of the cables. Okay.
I don't have a good name for what the surveyor is, I suppose I could call them that. They seem to be trying to understand what the thing is.
Is that the amoeba that you're talking about, the surveyors?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
They have a series of glowing buttons that they're using to replay the footage.
Oh.
But I don't really know what the buttons do other than just play the footage again and again.
Okay. With these glowing buttons?
Yeah.
Okay. So, can we ask the surveyors? Can you get their attention and ask them what this is? What the tubes are? If this is a star? Can you ask them where you're at or what this is?
The surveyor says it's some kind of living goo, the thing that I thought was a star.
Oh, that's why it's jelly-like. Oh, it's living goo. Oh. Okay, excellent. What else can the surveyor tell us?
I asked what it was for, and they say that it seems to be able to imitate the shapes of things.
Imitate the shapes of things?
Yes.
Uh-huh. What would be the purpose of that? Imitates the shapes of things. What would...
The surveyor finds that question odd. The surveyor is now trying to explain, the usefulness of adaptation in life. Like the ability for, if you run into a problem, you being able to change your shape to adapt to the problem.
Oh, okay. Kind of like shape-shifting?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. And where is this place at? Can the surveyor give us information on where we're seeing these things at? Experiencing these?
Something called the ATAR.
ATAR?
And it seems to be designed to study things like this.
Okay. So it studies things like this. And that is to, in case you need to change yourself for different reasons, to shape yourself.
The surveyor says that they specifically study different types of life so they can try to figure out how to do what those life forms do.
Oh, you study different life forms. Okay. So they can recreate these life forms?
It's trying to form like a strange hand. The surveyor is struggling to imitate what the life form is doing with the goo. So it seems like they're trying to learn skills, but that seems odd to me.
They're trying to learn different skills because they're wanting to study things like this so that they can imitate the shapes of other things, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be able to adapt
Mm-hmm.
like the goo does The surveyor calls it a subject.
The goo is a subject?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Where did this goo come from? Did they create the goo, or did they find it?
The surveyor says that they made the goo.
They made the goo. Okay. And where are we at? What dimension or what planet, or where are we at with this this living goo and the surveyor?
They seem to be in some kind of void, like the ATAR is floating in a void.
The ATAR is floating what?
In a void.
Oh, in a void. Okay. Okay. And what is their purpose for showing you this? What does the surveyor want you? Why is the surveyor showing you this? Are you the surveyor?
Yes.
Yes. So this is what you do on the other side to help create life?
To help make us better.
To help us make better. Excellent. We need all the help we can get to help make life better. Is that life for any specific planet, or all planets, or all voids, or?
The surveyor seems to be indicating for their kind.
Their kind. And who's their kind? What kind is the surveyor?
A blast.
A what?
I find the name odd as well.
Blast?
Yeah.
B-L-A-S?
I believe so.
Okay. Their kind is a blast. B-L-A-S. And what galaxy or what universe, or besides a void, where is this at? Is there any specificity that we can get from that, or is that enough?
The surveyor finds it odd, the idea of naming where they're from.
Okay. We're just wanting to, for Jet's information, so when he reviews this, that he'll have a better understanding for himself on what himself is doing in another dimension.
Blast's attitude is a little crass. He essentially says you can call where he's from wherever you want.
Well, I guess I can't blame him. Appreciate the coming through. We is this surveyor and blast? Are they of the light? Are they of the highest light?
He says that that's something they want to figure out themselves.
About themselves?
Yeah.
Oh. What's their intentions? Are their intentions only good? Or is that such a thing?
He says morality is something that's still debated. One thing that his people agree on are trying to better themselves, but to what end, they're not sure.
So it's not just physically, because the goo seems to me like to be more physical, so they're still working on the morality aspect as well?
Blast says that it's all connected.
All connected. Okay. So what are they doing besides working with this goo? Does this goo have anything to do with the morality as well?
They made the goo, but but they don't understand exactly how they did it.
Oh.
But if they can learn how to do what the goo does, it could dramatically change the way that they do everything.
And who would that affect? Or what would that affect? Would it just affect them? Or would that affect other dimensions, other planets, or whatever?
It would affect themselves as well as any others that they choose to interact with.
Oh.
They seem to be very, it's hard to say self-centered,
Yeah.
but they want to help each other. Because when asking about the idea that helping other dimensions, other beings, Blas doesn't seem as concerned about them as he does his own people.
Okay. No, I understand that. I believe you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. So that's not self-centered. It's just, it's smart. I firmly agree with that. And is Blas different than the Surveyor?
Blas seems to be the name of not just the Surveyor, but of his kind.
Oh.
I'm not sure if they separate themselves, like individual names.
Okay. So if Blas is speaking to us, is that one and the same as the Surveyor speaking to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're all called Blas. It's like one mind.
Oh, okay.
Whole species.
Okay. Yeah, that's not what we're used to on planet Earth. Okay, good. So, this ATAR, it's a place in the void.
Yes.
Is that where they're always at? Is in this void? The ATAR that's floating in the void, is that where they're always at?
No.
Where else might they be?
Blas seems to indicate that void spaces like this are things that they can make.
Oh, okay.
And that because they don't fully understand this, even though they think it's something that could help them, they feel like it needs to be contained. So he's studying it here, away from the others.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like good morality to me. Sounds like they already have that going for them. And why are they showing this to Jet today? What is the purpose for this? For them to be showing Jet?
He says, I wanted to know if they made light. He then is essentially indicating that just because you make something doesn't mean you know too much about it.
Oh. You mean there's always a learning curve?
There's always something more.
Yes, there is, isn't there? The possibilities are unlimited. So this is part of Jet's extension of his being, that he's there in part of this project. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's why we're here. Okay. Is there anything else that Jet needs to know from this place so he can understand better or what he's doing? Because that was his intention for today, was to know what he created when he was a co-creator of the universe.
He says, know that you've created voids. Know that you've created subjects. Know that the work is never done. But also know that sometimes the work is more isolated than you would think.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sometimes the work can be more isolated than you think. Okay. So do you have any advice to give to, or any messages to give to Jet today? Besides what you just said? Or is that it?
Spend more time with those that you care about.
Oh. Spend more time with those you care about.
I asked him how long he's been here studying the subject, and he said that it's been a long time. And it doesn't seem like there's anyone else aboard the ATAR.
So what's a long time to Blas, or the surveyor?
Longer than I could comprehend.
Okay. Okay. So Jet's the message is to spend more time with those that he cares about. Is there anyone in particular, or just in general?
In general.
Okay. And what else would you suggest for Jet today?
To learn to be more like the subject.
Learn to be more like the subject.
To be able to adapt.
Kind of like the goo?
Yes.
Adapt. And so this is easier said than done sometimes. Is there any specific information for Jet on how to learn to be more like the subject and to adapt? Any special insights that you can offer?
He feels as though part of the reason why he spent so much time studying it is because this is one of those things that is difficult to learn with knowledge alone. He's collected so much data, but often adaptation happens in the moment.
Yes, it does. I agree. Okay. So, is there anything, though, that you can help Jet in the current life that he's experiencing on planet Earth to help him to learn to be more like the subject and to adapt? Is that, since he needs to work on that, is there anything you can assist him with today? Either scanning his body to see if there's something that you can help him with physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually? In his highest good, only his highest good.
He says to try new things. If you expose the subject to technology, other organisms, it can adapt itself to copy it. But if the subject is left alone, it is just goo.
Oh. Okay, so like observation, when you observe something, it morphs, it changes. Is it kind of like that?
Yes.
Okay. So planet Earth just found that out in this century by observation, by putting your attention on something that it affects it. So instead of leaving it alone and putting your attention on it, you can help affect it. Is that kind of it?
Similar.
Similar. Okay. I know this might sound irregular or not appropriate, but can you help Jet today? He has an issue with driving a vehicle, even though he's excellent. Can you help him with that today?
He says that our issues are different. Blas feels isolated on the ATAR.
Mm-hmm.
He's a part of a hive mind, but at the same time, he's in a completely different dimension than the rest of his kind, and has been for a long time.
Uh-huh.
So his issues in the ATAR have to do with no one being around. But he says that my issues behind the wheel specifically have to do with other people being around. He would prefer to be in my situation.
Well, I appreciate the candor. I was just wondering if there's any possibility. Okay, well, I appreciate the honesty. Okay. So, is there anything else that, any other information that you can offer Jet today, or is that it?
Just know that there are many blasts.
Many what?
Many blasts.
Many blasts?
Working with different subjects.
Oh.
Creating different voids. And working to make the blast better.
Okay. Is this, reminds me, that is this sometimes where some of the, what Dolores Cannon calls the Space Brothers, come and ask humans to help them with specimens and whatnot so they can make the human life and their life better too? Is that kind of what's going on?
He says that if that is something that's done, it's done by someone other than him. He is always working in isolation.
Okay. Okay, well, Blast and Surveyor, we're thankful that you came in and gave us all this information. I want you to go ahead and, if there's nothing else, I want you to go ahead and leave that station, that area, and I want you to go ahead and move forward, or move backward, or move to another time, another place, another dimension, where something else is happening to give you the information that you're looking for today. So leave that scene and move to another scene now, and tell me, what's the very first thing that you notice?
Something that is definitely big.
Something that's definitely big?
It reminds me of the subject, but it's blue. It seems to be simultaneously round, but it has almost like gooey cubes coming off of it.
Round but gooey cubes coming off of it. Okay.
And it's in space. Which is how I can tell that it's like not just like a small thing being zoomed in on.
It's in space. Okay.
Almost like a celestial body.
Oh, okay. Celestial body. Okay. And so is this something that you can actually view, or would you rather interact with it and be on it?
I'm curious what would happen if I were to touch it. I think it's similar to the subject, if not just the subject later. Like what the subject will become.
What the subject will become. Can you clarify that a little bit better? I'm not for sure if I or Jet will understand that. Do you just want to view that and see what it, and talk with it? See if you can get some telecommunications going with it? Or is it something you can actually physically experience?
inside one of the cubes.
Oh, okay. You're inside one of the cubes?
Mm-hmm.
And what are you noticing?
It's a gelatinous blue substance.
Okay, another gelatinous blue substance. Okay. What are you noticing?
I can tell that this, what I believe is the future of the subject.
Oh.
It's emitting these cubes in all directions. And while the subject is round, the cubes are not. The cubes are also much smaller. And I'm wondering if this is how the subject makes more of itself.
By having the different shapes?
By splitting.
By splitting.
Into the cube.
So the blue, round, gooey cubes actually turn into the square cubes?
I think it's the big, round, celestial body gooey subject. It'd be nice to have like a name for what it is. Makes the cubes.
Right.
And I think the cubes are the same kind of thing as the subject, but maybe what they look like when they're first made. So they don't start off round.
So they don't start what?
They don't start off round.
Oh, they don't start off round. Okay. And so what else are you noticing in this big celestial body that's got these gooey cubes?
Right now, I suppose I'm pondering why they would change shape. Based on what Blast said before, it almost felt like a monkey see, monkey do kind of thing, like it copies. So why is the big one round and the small ones are cubes? Do they eventually just get to pick a shape? I'm not sure.
Well, so we're still dealing with Blast and the surveyor?
No.
Oh.
I think this is later.
Oh.
Like the same subject, like what Blast was looking at. But this is what it becomes.
Okay. So this is its evolution.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, the future of the subject, that's what that meant. Okay. But that was one thing that they were looking for, was adaptation. So they adapted from big and round to small cube, right?
It seems like the children are small cubes.
The children are small cubes?
Yeah. Like, I think the big, round, gooey one is like, it's weird to say mother, because I don't know if the subject has any gender.
Right, but just in general, just maybe a female energy or...
Right.
But the big celestial body might be like the mother?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the cubes, I suppose, are its children. But if that's the case, why cast them into space? It feels more like a cellular division kind of thing.
Oh, mitosis or osmosis? Mitosis. Okay. That's a good question. Is there anyone around you could ask that question? Or anything you can...
I'm trying to see if the cubes can communicate, but I'm not really getting anything back from them.
Okay. But they start out as blue, round, gooey cubes, and then coming off into space, and they turn into the smaller cubes, correct?
It starts off as like a big, round, blue. I would say it almost looks like a planet.
Oh.
But then what comes off of it are these much smaller, I would say a little bit bigger than like a person cubes.
Okay.
But almost like a dandelion, like when you blow a dandelion, the cubes are just going in all directions.
So when you do a dandelion like that, and it is repopulating, could that be the case for this? That eventually that's for repopulation?
If so, then that's pretty incredible. That implies that there would be a whole bunch of these eventually, like forming into like the bigger planet ones and then like doing it again. I hadn't really thought about that.
Well, that's what it's making me think of, because there's a mother, and then the dandelion. To me, that's and everything is infinite. So, maybe these are new reproductions of new inhabitants for other dimensions or other planets. Wherever they, like, you blow and the little fluffy things go everywhere. It's like these. Wherever they land, they're supposed to land there, and they repopulate. Maybe.
This kind of makes me feel a little happy.
Oh, good.
Blast seemed alone in the ATAR, studying the subject in this, like, kind of like dour environment, like trying to figure out what's going on, but also a quarantine environment.
Yes.
So to now see the subject, like, not stuck in the ATAR, out and able to kind of spread itself.
Yep.
I imagine that means Blast no longer, I guess it's just kind of apparent. If we're not in the ATAR anymore, then that means Blast isn't stuck studying the subject anymore, which I guess means Blast figured it out, maybe? I guess that I can't be entirely sure of, but at least the subject's not in the ATAR anymore.
Yes, it makes sense to me, because they want to affect themselves and others that they choose, and they were creating, and so apparently he got to a point where he was and studying different life forms. So apparently he got to the place where he was able to do this, and this is what, to me, I would think is from his work. This is results from his work. Yeah.
One thing that I'm starting to think about, back when Blast was trying to change his arm into like a weird hand thing.
Yes.
If the Blast wanted to learn how to do what the subject is doing, does that mean that the Blast can do this? Like, they can become these big, like, world things and separate like this now?
That's a good analogy. So they can become the subject.
Right.
Well, that would be one way to adapt, and it would be one way to make things better, right?
Because then they could spread themselves as far as they want.
Right.
But now I guess that makes me curious, because Blast seems unsure of, like, how they would progress philosophically. Like, if he achieved his goal, and now they can spread themselves, I still don't know to what end, and it didn't seem like Blast knew either, at the time at least.
So when I asked Blast about morality, and about, he said that that one mind is a species, but he also said that morality was like one and the same, didn't he?
He did say that everything was connected.
Yes. So I'm assuming that neural pathway, or whatever it would be, would be part of this, but that's an assumption. Is there anyone there that can help you to discern or ponder that?
I'm trying to see if I can connect to the mother. But similar to the cubes, it's not like with Blast, where I can almost like hear like thoughts or anything. It's quiet. I feel like maybe I could do that with Blast because it was a weird I am Blast situation, but I'm not the subject.
Oh. Well, can we just ask in general, whether to whomever or whatever, why are you experiencing this? Why is this being shown to you? Just allowing any information to come through. Why is this being shown to you?
What I'm getting back is I'm being shown this to know that Blast doesn't suffer forever.
Ah. Okay. Excellent. That's what makes you happy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Good.
And that does give me more peace of mind. It felt like that's what was going on, but I wasn't sure.
But now we know. Right?
Right.
That's beautiful. Are there any other suggestions or messages that we can be offered at this time for Jet to help him on his path here on planet Earth?
What I'm getting is that I should take what I'm learning from this experience and really think about it. Because if I wasn't sure of these things before, I should know well enough now that they exist.
Okay. So, Jet's just really wanting to know that it exists, and is there anything for him to do with it on this planet, or just to know that this is going on so he understands?
Let it inform the way that you think about things.
Say that again?
Let it inform the way that you think about the world.
Let it inform the way you think about the world. You talking about to Jet?
Yeah.
Okay. Let it inform the way you think about the world. Okay? What?
I feel like I understand where it's coming from.
And that is?
So Blas was stuck in the ATAR. And he felt isolated from his kind. And when you're unsure of anything beyond where you're from, it can give this isolating worldview, this like weird perspective.
Oh.
But knowing that there's more beyond, I mean, at a certain point, I guess there's just comfort in knowing that you're not alone.
Okay. That is comforting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. That's actually beautiful. That's a wonderful message for Jet. You are not alone. Oh, I love that. Okay, well, if there's nothing else left, we're going to leave this behind and bring Jet back to planet Earth. Is that okay with you, Blas?
Oh. Yes, but it was weird because the response was yes, and you referred to what I was hearing as Blas. But I didn't think Blas was here before. But I guess I am Blas? So I guess Blas is always here.
That's right. Okay. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and put your attention back on your breath. And just notice